Hey everyone, welcome to this video about Google Patents, and we're looking at how to analyze Google Patents in a much easier way. This is really needed because the Google Patents have interesting information, but it's very hard to understand. You can see even just trying to read this text with all these numbers throughout, it's very difficult. So let me walk you through what we're going to do here. Or I will start first with a bit of an introduction to this video. Basically, I'm going to open source all the knowledge that I have on search engine optimization. Previously, I think the SEO community in general has been quite secretive on what knowledge they have, and there have been certain groups that know something about something, let it be search engine testing, how to test different concepts or strategies. I'm not a fan of that anymore. I would much rather like it if the SEO community is completely open source. Everybody's happy to share what they know. And this is definitely inspired by people like Corey, who've basically shown all of us that there's quite a bit of stuff about search engines that we all don't know. And he's very generously shared in the videos that he's made, even though I understand Corey's videos are very difficult to understand, especially if for people who have no background in information retrieval sciences, which most of us don't have that, in myself included, but they're very well worth watching. In case you're not familiar with Corey, his name is Corey Tukberg. I will put this name here on the screen right now. I believe that's, if you search that Corey Tukberg plus SEO, you should definitely find more material about him, and it's well worth researching. To that, I suppose a lot of SEOs would say, well, if you're open sourcing all of your knowledge, the SEO industry is going to get more competitive, or at least not being self-centered here, but if everybody does the same thing, open sources their knowledge, then yes, absolutely, the SEO industry is going to become more competitive, but really it's just rising the level of competition. And I feel like people such as Corey have shown all of us that we've all been somewhat complacent in the SEO industry because we've stayed in these small groups who only talk to each other. There's definitely a feedback loop happening where, let's say you've got one group that is totally into black hat SEO, and they all talk to each other about black hat SEO, and they find things within black hat SEO that work well for them, but they're missing the whole bigger picture of that. And maybe that's how SEO needs to work because it's too complex. Maybe we have to stay in very small groups and they get good at a very specific thing. I'm not sure yet, but I'm interested to find out what would happen if we would all share our knowledge openly. And that's what I'm trying to do on this YouTube channel. Awesome. Let's dive into how to analyze patents. In the spirit of open source, I'll share all of the code with you, or the prompts that I'm using, and also the Chrome extension. There's another Chrome extension called Highlight This, I believe. And I will show you, let's start with that extension first. We're looking at a pretty cool patent here, which is very dear to Corey's heart. He's talking about this one a lot, including at conferences, I believe. So we'll be looking at this patent and how to analyze that. You can see my highlightings here. They are coming from this Chrome extension called Highlight This. Let me see if I can find that. That's what it looks like. And here, for example, for the status active, when you're creating it, you're putting a word in that you want highlighted, then you're telling it what style you want. It provides you the preview here, in this case green. And I'm limiting this to that domain name, patents.google.com/patent, and then this asterisk to say anything, any patent page should be highlighted, or this rule should be active on any patent page. And that's it. I'm not using anything else, so it's pretty easy to configure. I will say the limitation is important so that you only get the highlighting on this page. And let's say if you're reading a different kind of news website, you might not want the word active to be highlighted. So that's why I recommend using this here. Other things that I'm highlighting on the page are the figures. That's where it really becomes important because this is about very specific schematics that have been drawn. For example, here, figure 3. Scroll up and try to find that. That's 2, that's 4, and then here above there is 3. So you can see that's pretty important to be able to locate that quickly while you're working with these patents. Cool. So what else are we using? A word counter plus. I'm using that because I feel it's quite helpful to be able to highlight a bit of text. Right click, then click word counter, and you now get an idea of how many characters or words you're actually trying to send, because ChatGPT has limitations in terms of how much text you can process. I wouldn't recommend trying to send more than 1,500 to 2,000 words, because above that you get quite a few errors. And yeah, that just helps with counting words. And then we've got this plugin, which is ChatGPT summary for websites. Whoops, I've just noticed I'm kind of outside of the picture with my webcam. ChatGPT for websites, which creates inside of your browser a Chrome extension that can create summaries based on your specific prompts. So why that is cool is because you don't need to copy and paste the text. You can direct it what you want a summary about, and yeah, that's pretty helpful. This summary plugin, you need to log into the ChatGPT website once, and then it kind of syncs up and it's using your main ChatGPT account. I do believe that works better with a paid account, because from what I've heard on the free accounts, it might be slower and sometimes also timing out or not working very well. Cool, and I would also recommend using ChatGPT 4. That would be the preferred option if you can. Otherwise 3.5 will have to do the trick, but I noticed 3.5 was, yeah, I've got a comparison basically here that I will also share with you of what 3.5 has output and what 4 has output, and I liked 4 better. Awesome, so let's go ahead and jump into some of these prompts here. My first prompt is that I'm just looking to summarize the abstract, background, and summary. So what you would do, any patent that you want to analyze, you come here to this file, copy my prompt, click on the gear icon on the top right and copy and paste that in, hit save, and then set up your ChatGPT version that you want to use here. Again, I'm using 4, but I actually just ran out of credits. To be able to even show this to you, I need to also use 3.5. And then you come here to the text, to the summarizer. It's not in the screen right now, but it's just a Chrome extension. And here we go. It's now summarized, this whole abstract section, as well as the background and the summary. And we have a few more things baked in there, which is how this technology would impact SEOs and what we should do based on that. That is the bottom 2 sections. I would call it experimental at best, meaning don't be guaranteed that you actually get like good output from that. So here I'll copy and paste what the summarizer has given us the abstract, the background, the summary. And now the most important or most fun part here is the kind of custom stuff, which is where basically ChatGPT tells us what you should do based on this patent. I wouldn't rely on that now. It's not, especially I believe 3.5. ChatGPT 3.5 is not very good. It's giving like general advice. Ensure that your content is well organized. We kind of all know that. So yeah, but look, maybe it's gonna get better going forward. But I think just that is pretty cool, right? That we now have an abstract, a background, and a summary, kind of easy to read English. The next prompts that I have for you are about the claims. So I'm processing these in separate parts because the claims themselves and some patents can be 4,000 words long. So you don't want to try to overload the machine because then the summary of each of the sections will be very light or kind of top level, and it doesn't give you many insights. So that's why I like to break it all up. But then if you want to do the claims, same process, just copy and paste that. Drawings, let me see, is this my updated drawings? I will update that anyways. With the drawings, I've actually found we probably want to focus on just one drawing. So this was my old prompt that you saw here. The problem again with drawings is there's so many. So figures and drawings, I'm using that interchangeably here right now. There's quite a few of them and the text is so long. So this is actually where I should be checking the length of the text here. That it's not doing a very good job when you're asking it to summarize all of the drawings. So let's see here, word count. So this is 4,000 words. This is way too long. In that sense, it's clear that I've made a mistake there by trying to even ask it to summarize all of them. That's why we're going to change our prompt to say only focus on figure 1, for example. So we can try if that works here together. Keep references, that's fine. Then we say only focus on the below figure. Ignore all other figures. See if that works. I think that may work. Actually, I'm sick of figure 1 because that's just like a computer like summary of what a CPU is and stuff like that. So I really don't want to read more about figure 1. Let's do figure 2. I think figure 2 is going to be fun. All right. Let's see how we go. Go to options, paste, save, and save. If you get this language issue, just ignore it. Unless you're maybe trying to translate into a language other than English, then you probably want to use this language feature, but I don't actually know how it works. So, but if you're using English and you're getting this error, just ignore it. All right. Let's summarize. Okay. It's pretty good. It's talking quite a lot about figure 2 here, but I'm not sure if it's actually making sense. So figure 2 is this kind of world globe type of thing with different knowledge domains. And I wanted it to keep talking about the numbers like 62 and 64. I do have another prompt here that actually worked better. I'll give you guys this prompt here that actually worked. Let's put that here. All right, cool. So simplify the text into a bullet point list, keep all important details that a science researcher needs to understand the details workings of the figure. Keep references to specific numbers. Again, that's the image stuff here, like they all have numbers on the side, and we definitely want that to be kept in the text. And yeah, that's worked pretty well before. In that case, I wouldn't use this Chrome plugin for that. I would straightly go to your ChatGPT, whether you're using it in the web browser or desktop. And there is a desktop app which I can highly recommend. Let me see, ChatGPT desktop. Yeah, it's this one here, I believe. This is a pretty cool desktop app that I recommend for ChatGPT. All right. I think that's pretty much it, all I wanted to share with you for now. So you've got the prompts for the claims, you've got the Chrome plugins, and then it just really comes down to reading through it, seeing what you understand. There may be sections where the summary is a little bit light and you might want to read up more on certain sections. Let's say here in terms of the figures, you might want to go back to the original source to read more about that, which is recommended. But I think in general, this is a pretty good way to get a quick breakdown of what the patent is about without having to wade through, I don't know, these are 8,000 to 10,000 words. And this way also make sure that you keep the context of what the patent is about. Whereas if you use like a general purpose summarizer type of prompt, I believe you're not going to get much out of it, because each section in the patent, from claims to summary to figures, they're all slightly different, and each one of them have so much text that with the current limitations of GPT-4, you're not going to get much out of a general purpose summary. So that's why my process looks like that at the moment, and I'm sure the process will change going forward. I'm trying to get access to GPT-4 API. which has, I believe, a 32,000 token limit, which might equate to like 25,000 words. So with the API, we could definitely build something that can create quicker summaries so that we don't even have to do this. But yeah, this was Mark from Ecom Experts. I hope that was helpful. So I will leave you with a challenge. How are you going to upgrade your SEO knowledge and find new groups of people that you can learn from and share knowledge with? I believe this will be a really big part of doing SEO going forward. We all need to figure out ways how to work with AI, develop faster and smarter ways, and just expand our SEO knowledge and horizon. And it's going to be a fun time. And let's work together to make it a good SEO future. Thank you. So I actually don't want to leave you without any guidance here. Corey has a really good Facebook group that you can join if you're not part of that yet. It's called Holistic SEO, I believe, on Facebook. So search for that, should have around 2,000 members in that group. It's a great way to learn. Then there's an information retrieval course on YouTube. I will link that up. That's a really good way to learn how search engines work on a technical level. Let me see, and then Internet Marketing Gold, also called IMG, is a website that has a lot of courses. That's a pretty good way to learn. And then I will also link up a Skype group that has been pretty helpful to me. I will link that in the chat below, or you can actually better to comment below and I will try to invite you to the Skype group, which has been a pretty good place to hang out and learn from other people. Awesome. Thank you.